Students of Standard 8, last time we had read the lesson Friendship and Duty, lesson number 3. Now today we shall do a few exercises that are activities that are related to the chapter. The first activity that you have, that is on page number 27, activity 3. Now in activity 3, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to find out sentences from the textbook which have the same meaning as the one that is given in the activity. And you have to make one sentence of your own. From looking at that particular sentence, you have to make one sentence of your own. Now say for example, the first sentence, the policeman who was walking around the area moved up the avenue impressively. Now the same sentence that you have in your textbook is in 1.1. If you take out page number 23, the very first line of your textbook, the policeman on the beat moved up the avenue impressively. The next you have, we believe that it was true that in 20 years each of us ought to have our destiny, to have made our destiny. Now this type of a sentence in your textbook, in your story, it's written on page number 23. On page number 23 in 3.1 you have a line. We figured out that in 20 years each of us ought to have our destiny worked out and our fortunes made. Then the next sentence that you have. After a year or two we had no information of each other. That's there in 3.3. But after a year or two we lost track of each other. That is, we had no information. No information means we lost track. We did not know about each other, where both of them were and things like that. Then a man gets into a situation that is boring and difficult to change in New York. Now this particular sentence, that's on page number 24. On page number 24, there is a sentence, a man gets in a groove in New York. That's the sentence in your textbook. So you have to frame a sentence with in a groove, okay? Means a situation that is boring and difficult, as we read in the lesson. What did Bob think that Jimmy's life is? What type of life? The same routine every day and things like that. Then next is, it takes the West to make him sharp and alert. That particular sentence is the very next sentence. It takes the West to put him on to put a razor's edge on him. That's the next sentence, okay? So put on a razor's edge means to make someone sharp and alert. And the last, here is a note I was asked to give you. Here is a note I was asked to give you. That is on page number 26. To give means to hand over, okay? So what is the sentence used in the textbook? Here is the note I was asked to hand you. So in the same way, you will find out, you will make sentences for all the looking at the sentence from the textbook. So you will first copy the sentence that's given in the activity. Then you will write the textual sentence and then you will make a sentence on your own. The next activity, that's activity 4. Now in activity 4, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to write the opposite using prefix. Prefix means say something that you add before the word, that's called a prefix. Now say for example competent, and how did we make the opposite? Incompetent. So what did we add in? This is called a prefix. Now see, for making a opposite or some other word, you add something at the end of the word, that is called a suffix. If you add something at the beginning of the word, it's called a prefix. So over here, competent, incompetent. Likewise, you are supposed to make the opposites of a few words that are given in your textbook. So first of all, activity 4. A prefix is a letter or a group of letters placed at the beginning of a word to alter its meaning. So something that is placed before the word to alter. Alter means change. To change the meaning. Over here we are making it exactly the opposite. Okay, by adding a prefix, what are we doing? We are making the opposite of the word. A negative of some words are formed by adding prefix. Like say for example, some of the examples they have already given over here. Direct, indirect. So direct and indirect, what did we add? We added in, and we made the opposite. Same way, probable, improbable. So we added what? Im to make it an opposite. responsible, irresponsible. So from the word responsible, to make an opposite, what did we add? We added IR and then the word responsible. Legal, illegal. So legal is the word, and to make the opposite we made it illegal. Now over here I have written a few words that are written in the textbook also. Competent, incompetent. So what did we do? We added a prefix to alter the meaning, means to change the meaning. Dignified, undignified. Logical, logical, the opposite is illogical. See, you have to write see IL and then again the L of logical, so it will become double L, okay. Materialistic, immaterialistic. So again over here you have to put double M, so don't forget that. Im and then materialistic. Pleasant, unpleasant. Reverent, reverent means respected. Irreverent. Again IRR, like in responsible, irresponsible. So when we write irresponsible we put double R, okay. Partial, impartial. Definite, indefinite. So see, these are the suffixes that we have added at the beginning of the words to make the opposites. So these are the words that are given on page number 28 in activity 4. First of all, you will write the 4 words which are given for example, like direct, indirect, probable, improbable, responsible, irresponsible, legal, illegal, and then you will write these words, okay, in your notebook. Then there are other words, mature, immature, again ILL, literate, illiterate, double L, balanced, unbalanced, comfortable, uncomfortable. So this is how you will make the opposites. Activity 5 deals with syllables. Syllables means, say for example we have one word, but in the word itself it is divided into different parts. Those small parts of a word, they are called syllables. Now for examples, in activity 5, words that are made up of syllables and every syllable consists of at least one vowel sound. Now see, each syllable should have one vowel, that's what they have written. Now vowels are A, E, I, O, U, these are the vowel sounds. Okay. Now see, come, at least it should have one vowel. Come, did we break the word? No, one syllable. Slip, one syllable. Crop, one syllable. Deck, one syllable. Who, again that's one syllable. Now see, if we write the word perfect, so we break the word. Perfect. P-E-R, that has one vowel E. Fect, F-E-C-T, it again has one vowel E. Okay, perfect. So 2 syllables. Morning, 2 syllables. Exclaim. So see, where we break the word, that part is called a syllable. Exclaim. Now see, X, E-X has one vowel E. C-L-A-I-M, it has A and I, okay. So it should have at least one vowel, that's what is written. Then, which have more than words, which have more than 2 syllables. Together. So when we say it together. We don't divide it together. But when we write it as if we want to find out the syllables, we just find out where do we break the word. Together. Investigate. So when we speak, we say it like investigate, okay. But when we have to find out the syllables, we say it slowly and we break the word, okay. Now see, there are some words that are given in the textbook. Bless, only one vowel, one syllable. Position, so position. So how do we break it? Position. Fever, fever, 2 syllables. Pedestrian, pedestrian, 4 syllables. Began, began, 2 syllables. Slow, it has only one vowel, 1 syllable. Farmer, farmer, 2 syllables. Moderately, moderately, syllables. Impressive, impressive, 3 syllables. Neighborhood, neighborhood, 3 syllables. Interest, 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 3 syllables. Dream. Now see, dream we cannot break the word. Dream, it comes only as 1 syllable. Same way, track, 1 syllable. Screw, 1 syllable. Fortunate, fortunate, 3 syllables. Now see, likewise, if you want to, these are the words that you have to write in the notebook. If you want to just practice it, okay, you can pick up a few words from the lessons and try to find out how many syllables it has. Try to break the word like that, okay. Like fortunate, fortunate, and see that it at least carries 1 vowel. So this is how you will be able to find out how many syllables a particular word has. Okay, so and then you can check it on your own. You can Google it and find out whether the word and the syllable, the number of syllables you have thought about is correct or not. Okay, then the next activity is activity 6, that's given on page number 29. Jimmy Wales was a patrolman. A patrolman is a police officer whose job is to walk or drive around a particular area. That is his job, okay. Jimmy Wales, he was a patrol, P-A-T-R-O-L. It's different from P-E-T-R-O-L, petrol that we fill in our vehicles, okay. Over here the word is P-A-T-R-O-L, patrolman. What is patrolling? Like I explained it to you when we were doing the story, that the policemen, what they have to do is at night time, especially at night time, okay, also during the day, but especially at night time, what they have to do, they move around the city to find out whether everything is peaceful or not. So that is called patrolling. So Jimmy Wales was a patrolman. So what is the job of a patrolman? To move around or to walk. Either they move in a vehicle or they walk around that place to find out whether everything is proper or not. Likewise, in the activity, that is activity 6, there are a few words that are given and you have to match them correctly with the profession, the work that the person does and what is that person called. Like the first one, I am reading column B, okay. Column A, they have given you all the options. I am reading column B. He manages or lends large sums of money. Okay, money, when things are connected with money, you have to remember the word finance. Okay, so he manages or lends, means लोगों को उधार देते, that is called lending money. Okay, giving on a loan or something like that. So such a person is called financier. Someone who studies birds. There are people, you know, who make a deep study of birds, the way they fly, which season they fly and things like that, okay. So, and what is the distance they fly, and there are a lot of people who do study on particular birds also. So, such people are called ornithologists. Then next is he is involved in the study of fossils. Fossils are the remains of the creatures or living things that were buried inside the earth millions of years ago, and those fossils, okay, those remains that are found, people who study such things, those are called paleontologists. Then next is a police officer who finds out information to catch criminals. So this word you are quite familiar with. People who catch criminals, those are called detectives. They study the case properly and they find out they trace the criminal and they find out the criminal. That is called a detective. His activity is collecting and studying postage stamps. You know, there are a lot of people who have a hobby of collecting postage stamps. So they have a big collection of postage stamps from their own country, from other countries also. So people who study postage stamps, such people are called philatelists. Then next is one who likes books and enjoys reading and collecting them. You know, there are some people who love to read. Any given moment they love to read books, and they have a good collection of books. Such people are called bibliophile. Then next is, he represents the government of a Commonwealth country in another Commonwealth country. See, Commonwealth country, we did it in standard 7. Commonwealth countries are those countries which were ruled by the British earlier. Okay, so all those countries which were ruled by the British come under the Commonwealth country. Now see, one representative of one Commonwealth country is there in another Commonwealth country. So such a person is called High Commissioner. Then next is, his work is to collect and study coins and metals. See, like people collect stamps, there are also people who collect coins and such things, and medals and such things. Coins from the past of their own country, coins from other countries and things like that. Such a person is called numismatist. Okay, then he does the work of making maps. A person who is concerned with the work of making maps, they have to do a very detailed study of the geography of that area and they make the maps. Such a person is called a cartographer. So these activities, till activity 6, 3, 4, 5 and 6, all these activities you will do them in your notebook and write it systematically. Okay, not only the answers, you will write the whole sentence plus the answer.